Hello everyone, I am the Young Millennial Budget. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. I'm back from my very long internet and YouTube hiatus to talk about my 2021 financial goals and just wrap them up and recap them so I can prepare myself for the new year that we're already in, which is 2022. And if you like the video today, please don't forget to like, comment below, and subscribe. I also have my Instagram where you can follow me. The link will be below in the description. I love interacting with you guys, and I look forward to posting more in 2022. So now let me just jump into the video. Here's a little bit of background about me in case you guys have forgotten. I'm in my mid-20s, living in the outskirts of high cost of living city, and I'm in $34,200 of student loan debt. However, I do have a sinking fund for this. I'm not going to be paying on it officially until the federal forbearance is up. I'm currently working within healthcare with a 1-year contract job. This contract job is about 50% of what people in my field typically make, so I'm very excited to finish my program in June 2022 and see what opportunities are out there for me in my field of work. So here are my 7 main SMART goals of 2021. I did have more goals, which I will talk about at the end of the video. And this slide here just kind of shows you what those 7 main goals were. And I broke it down from starting balance, goal balance, funding frequency, total cost, reach goal, and allocation of extra money. I explain what all of those kind of mean in a video I'll have linked above and below if you'd like to know more, but I'll go into further explanation about all of that later on in the video. So my first goal was my new vehicle fund. I wanted to fully cash flow and fund a new vehicle for myself. At the beginning of this year, I was driving a company job from when I was working in sales, and I knew that leaving that job, they were gonna come repossess that car immediately, which they did. So I needed to prepare myself for transporting, for the rest of the year without the company car. I was expecting to spend about $4,000 to $5,000 on a little hoopty-doopty to get me just from point A to Z, something to last me about 1 or 2 years. However, after talking to literally any and everyone advised me against it just because the maintenance cost of the car might not be worth it, especially since I'm working a very time-consuming job where even though I'm supposed to be there from 9 to 5, it could be actually 7 to 7. I just wouldn't really have the time to maintenance my car, and I didn't really want to stress myself out. So in actuality, I spent $12,127.35 to buy myself a Toyota Corolla, a relatively new Toyota Corolla. You may wonder, how did I get a Toyota at this price point? It's because I bought it salvaged from an auction, completely fixed it up. It drove fine. It was not a lemon at all. I really had an interesting experience that I don't know if I would do it again, but I would highly recommend to somebody that has more time. If anyone is interested in my whole car buying experience, let me know in the comments below. I would love to walk you guys through every single detail of how I managed to get a new low mileage car for $12,000. I ended up going over budget, as you can see, by $7,127.35, and that is 242.5% over my expected expenditure. I'm not mad. Like I said, I don't necessarily regret the experience. The ironic and very unfortunate part is I'm no longer driving the car I had purchased. It has nothing to do with the car. It has to do with the neighborhood that I live in with lots of hills and narrow roads. My car has been hit twice, literally within 2 months of each other, and I just could not take it mentally anymore. That's part of the reason why I was gone from YouTube. I spent so much money and time maintaining my car after these accidents. So now just to maintain the value of my car until I can move, I ended up giving my car to my parents, and they took that, and now I have a nice little hunk of junk Jeep from 2010. I'm happy that it gets me from point A to B. However, I'm already going to maintenance the car. But it is what it is. At least that car, I can park it in a different place than where it was before because it's bigger. It just drives higher than the Corolla, if that makes any sense. Just I had a sedan and now this is like an SUV. But yeah, if anyone was interested in my horror story car situation, let me know below. But I'm going to move on to the next goal now. So my second goal was to fund my student loan sinking fund. I was expecting to get to a goal balance of negative $8,000, and I had no reach goal because I didn't want to put any additional money towards loans. My starting balance was negative $24,000 because I had already had a sinking fund of $10,200. So that means I needed to save an additional $16,000. In reality, after changing my mind about the car and changing my mind about a whole bunch of other goals that I've had, I only ended up putting an additional $7,350 towards my student loan sinking funds. So that was 45.9% to goal. So that means I was under my goal by $8,650 and under it by 54.1%. So my new starting balance for the new year is negative $16,650 versus the $8,000 I was expecting. I'm not quite upset, a little bit disappointed because I didn't anticipate to spend so much money on like car maintenance and just other life things that came up, but all that taught me is that I need to prioritize having cash so I can cash flow expensive expenses. So I'm hoping in the new year I can get back on track with paying off my student loans. My third main goal was to fund my emergency fund. I wasn't going to put too much money towards it. My goal was to reach a balance of $5,000. My reach goal was $5,500, and my starting balance was $4,075. So I only needed to put about $925 towards this goal. I did it. I saved myself up to my reach, which was $5,500. I was neither over or under budget at all, and I'm happy for this. And I'll talk about this probably in my 2022 goals video, but I created so many more different, like quote unquote, emergency funds because life really hit me this year. Now I have a car maintenance fund, I have an electronic maintenance fund, I have medical sinking funds. These are all things I didn't really have last year that I now know are important. They're not quite in my emergency fund, but I kind of encompass all of them under emergency, if that makes any sense. So I digress. Next goal. My next goal was to open and fund my Roth IRA. I expected to fund it up to $3,000, which is just half of the amount that was required. And then I was kind of expecting to max out my 2021 Roth IRA in 2022 because you have up until, I believe, April 15th with this tax day. And I wanted to fund it with my tax return. However, I got a little over ambitious. My reach goal was $4,500 and I had no Roth IRA at that point, no starting balance. I actually fully funded my 2020 Roth IRA and my 2021 Roth IRA. So I was $7,500 over budget, which is a total of 266.7% spent more on my goal. And I got that 266.7 by dividing 12,000 by the 4,500, my reach goal. I'm pretty proud of myself for doing this. I was debating for a very long time whether I should max out the money, whether I should max out my contributions. I had asked people on Instagram on one poll and asked on YouTube and kind of came to the conclusion that because I had the ability to max it out, I just should. I took that money actually from my student loan sinking fund. I took about $4,500 from there and put it into my Roth IRA just because the federal forbearance was continued again. And I only have, up until tax day to max out those Roth IRAs. So I decided that was a better use of my money at this time. And I personally have no regrets because my student loans have accrued no interest due to that forbearance. And my Roth IRA has grown to an amount that I am very happy with. So I think I made the right decision. My other goal was to begin funding my brokerage account more consistently. I've been very sporadic with how I've funded my brokerage account. My goal was to have $500 vested in my brokerage. I had no reach goal. My starting balance was $200 vested. I actually ended up closing my original account, which was with Robinhood. I was just incredibly unsatisfied with their services, and I switched over my brokerage to Fidelity. In reality, I ended up spending $1,100 to vest into my brokerage account, and I was over budget by $800. I'm not mad at all. That's 366.7% over expectation. However, I kind of want to start prioritizing investing more. This 1 year working in healthcare in the midst of this pandemic has exhausted me. I have no regrets in the degree that I've received. However, I don't think I'm going to die or kill myself to work in healthcare. So I feel like I'm kind of trying to move alternatively into pharmaceutical industry. And I'm saying all this to say that I plan on retiring early in general. I don't want to work forever. And I think that prioritizing my investments will help me get to that goal. So I'm also very satisfied with what I've done with my brokerage account. My next goal was funding vacations. So I originally planned on just putting $1,000 towards vacations. I didn't know if I was going to end up going anywhere because of the pandemic. However, I went a couple places. I went international twice. I traveled safely. Haven't got COVID yet this year. And in reality, I spent $3,010.48. In that includes 2 international vacations and 2 local within the US trips. I was over budget by $2,010.48, and that was 301% over expectation. I didn't realize at the beginning of the year that things were going to stay open because we had multiple different spikes. However, those didn't really deter me from taking my vacations because they were to see people that I hadn't seen in some time. So I'm happy that I did them and that I traveled safely and I had absolutely no regrets. But this does teach me that I need to save more money. I need to fund my vacations without stressing myself. So this year, my vacation fund goal is a lot higher than this. And here are my remaining goals. I'll first talk about the ones that I completed, and then I'll talk about the ones I didn't quite get around to. So 1, I remained 1 month ahead all 12 months of 2021. I'm actually very proud of this because being 1 month ahead means not living paycheck to paycheck and having the peace of mind of knowing I can pay my upcoming bills. And I really do enjoy that sense of peace. 2, I increased my net worth to at least positive $13,000. I'll talk about my change in net worth from 2020 to 2021 in another video. I don't think I quite challenged myself with this goal. However, I'm still proud of myself for meeting it, and I hope to exponentially grow my net worth going forward. 4, I was able to open up a Roth IRA with Fidelity, no problem, and I fully funded it. 5, I learned about the different f.i.r.e. movements by reading a lot of literature, following blogs, and just kind of seeing which one most aligned with my beliefs. 6, I picked a f.i.r.e. movement. I do think I'll be trying to hit Coast Fire. I'll have a whole video about that later this year, but I do believe that this is the f.i.r.e. movement I most align with. 7, I did not break my clothing rule, which was for every item I did purchase, I would donate or sell another item. At first, I wasn't really following this rule. However, in the last month, I've purged so many items, kind of Marie Kondo'd my life, and got rid of a bunch of things that weren't bringing me joy. And honestly, I think I'll be trying to more consciously follow this clothing rule going forward. So now on to the goals I was not able to complete. 1, I did not create a business plan for one additional source of income. I didn't even really think about this goal. I think that I'm too early in my current career path and in such a transitional time in healthcare because of this pandemic. I think I just need to focus on what I'm doing next versus creating additional sources of income and maybe not focusing on my 9 to 5 at this time. but maybe one day in the future. 2, I did not consistently fund or use my self-care categories. Again, it was extremely exhausting working in healthcare in the midst of a pandemic, and with all the car troubles I was having, I didn't have a lot of personal time. So I kind of had a scarcity mindset and was kind of afraid to spend money on things like hair, skin, and nails. And I kind of let that fall through the cracks this year. And it's kind of scary to think that even as I'm making more money, I find it hard to spend money on myself. But I'm hoping with time, I'll learn that it is okay to buy items that I just want instead of items that I need. 3, I broke my fast food rule. I think almost every month, my rule was that I was only going to eat fast food with company and I wasn't going to be the one to suggest it first. However, I ate fast food for comfort. I ate fast food for convenience. I ate fast food for stress relief. I ate fast food for fun, honestly. I don't think this really aligns with my mindset or where I am in my life. I feel like I've had a very stressful year and I found a lot of comfort in food. And honestly, I do want to develop a lot of healthier habits, but the only eating fast food with company is not very realistic, especially with these long hours at work and just my current lifestyle. But I'm hoping to slightly reduce how much I spend in fast food this year. 4 was participating in savings challenges. I only participated in one, and that was the YNAB 34-day challenge, and I will not be participating in that again this year. I might not be doing any savings challenges. I do want to kind of participate in a low spend year versus a no spend year, but I'm not making any promises to myself at this time. So there you have it. Those were all of my 2021 financial goals. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment below, or subscribe if you're still watching at this time and you enjoyed the video at all. I love interacting with you guys. And also go ahead and give my Instagram a follow. I'll have it linked below. And I look forward to chatting with you guys all 2022. Bye.